Holy shit, it's pouring outside. Ugh. So now we're here at game day. I am setting up my rack for squat. So let's get into, I guess, a little bit of basics onto how I shoot. So I record in a resolution of 4K. If you invested in a camera that shoots in 4K, shoot that bitch in 4K. Trust me, sharper image quality, and you're just gonna get the best out of it whenever it comes to editing. Now my frame rates. I record in 24, meaning that I try to get as close to that cinematic look as possible. That being said, if you shoot in 24, please make sure that your shutter speed, the little number that says 1/40, 1/60, 1/50, is set to 1/50. You want the shutter speed to be double that. Does that make sense? So if you are shooting in 24, you want to get as close to 48 as possible. So go ahead and set that to 50, 1/50. Just saying that multiple times. Now, aperture and ISO are really based on where you're shooting. Right now, my aperture is set to 1.8, meaning it has helped brighten the photo. This place is pretty dark, so I just went all the way down to 1.8, and this is how I'm getting that really brighter image. So the reason I did that is because I don't want to automatically boost my ISO when it's too dark. When you boost your ISO too high, you start getting noise from the artificial lighting that's from the camera. Remember, ISO is not just you like brightening up the image and it's going to look good. It's artificial lighting, meaning that if you use too much, you will start getting a lot of that little noise. Oh my God, it is coming down so hard right now. I hope the mics aren't picking up all this rain. It's insane. Now, as for your picture profile, don't start getting into that yet, especially if you're a beginner. I definitely recommend that you just start with no picture profile and you just learn to play with your lighting, your ISO aperture, and even the white balance. So right now, I am actually shooting this with no picture profile, no S-Log. We're actually just gonna like run it like this. Now for your white balance, I really tell people try and play around whenever you get to a new place. What I mean by that is that if you go to a new gym or you're vlogging at a new location, really play with that white balance right there as you're getting into that location because it varies. For instance, I have adjusted my white balance to where I have made the location look a lot cooler. So if I went back to auto the way that my camera automatically sees this place, it would actually be very yellow, which I don't want because I'm already a brown person. And yes, you can fix this in post, but again, I like to do it here. Because sometimes post can't really correct that detail and it'll be kind of, you know, not perfect. Again, all preference. So for another note, I highly recommend investing in microphones. A lot of people do the thing where they record their workouts, do a voice memo, and then they input the audio on top of the video. But I like to record like while it's happening in real time. It makes the video more genuine, authentic, and I mean, it's just, you know, it's in that moment. All right, I'm gonna warm up a little bit. Oh. With that, me moving right there, let's go ahead and get into autofocus. A lot of cameras have autofocus nowadays, which I think a lot of people need to use. So right now, I have mine set, at least on my Sony, is that it is set to a continuous autofocus. It's not manual. So if you know where this setting is at on your camera, or if you also have a Sony, go ahead and set it to continuous, especially if you're having this constant movement, especially if we're squatting, because if you're not going to be able to adjust manually every single rep. I mean, come on, let's be realistic. Oh man. I used to shoot with a 35 for a long time. It wasn't very close, but I wanted something that was a little wider to where I could really play around with my shot. Say if I wanted to do zooms, I wanted to, you know, play around a bit and really play with my editing. So I actually invested in a 20mm lens. This is really gonna allow me to get that wide shot and play with everything around me when it comes to zooming in. And again, this is why we shoot in 4K, so that if I do a zoom, it doesn't really take away a lot of that quality. Also, this is just a friendly reminder that if people walk into your shot, don't be that guy who like gets all angry or mad. Oh, you're in my shot. Dude, you're in a gym. Why are you shooting? See what I mean? All right, so now I'm gonna go do some warm-up exercises. Really gonna kind of get my legs warm before I go and squat. And with that, we're gonna go into different parts of the gym where lighting is different. So you're gonna see how I'm gonna keep the settings the same, and you're gonna notice how it gets darker, lighter. And this is where you have to learn to play with those settings. Most of the time, it's just a few touches of the ISO. So right there should be good. But if you have to adjust aperture or anything else, do that. I would avoid messing with the shutter speed. I feel like I've seen more people mess with the shutter speed for the lighting, when in reality, that's not the best idea when it comes to video recording. So right now, as I'm looking at the camera and the lighting in this area, it's not bad, but it is a little darker. So with that, I'm gonna be like, okay, well, I obviously don't want it to look like a damn demon mode montage, whatever the hell them kids do nowadays. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn up the ISO. Now the ISO is at I did about 2 clicks, so it's about 800. So ISO is still under 1000, which I like. We're at 800. I didn't adjust the aperture, I kept it the same. My autofocus is on, so it's catching my movements. I have myself centered. So this part of the gym is actually pretty well exposed, so I actually don't have to adjust the lighting too much on this one. At this point, y'all are just following along for the workout and me adjusting my lighting. Trevor really has me warming up my hips and my lower back, really getting these stretches. Jesus. I hope y'all enjoyed the first part of the video because I feel like I didn't know a lot when I started shooting with a camera. And I feel like if I had someone explain just like a few of those things that I just said today, it kind of would have sped up the process on how good my videos could have looked about a year ago. That being said, if you still don't know what ISO, aperture, white balance, any of those settings mean, I highly recommend looking up a few tutorials before you try getting into understanding what I just said today. But like I said, for now, this is gonna turn into a workout vlog, and I really hope you enjoy the rest of it. Right now, we have squats. I have a set of 4, 3, and 3. They are all pause squats. So let's get into it.
Good pause, go.
Form literally has water leaking on it. Not like, bro, that's gonna be so annoying during my squat. That was awkward. It's still dropping on me. So that's pretty much all I got for y'all today. I'm pretty much just gonna go hit accessories, finish up, go home, cook, and then edit this video. If you like any of this content or want to see more of this, please like, subscribe, and honestly, comment what you want to see. Do you want to say a message to the camera? This was your chance. Hi, I'm Paul.